Change is the second biggest risk to the success and longevity of your organization. What's the biggest risk to your organization's success? Not changing. As a leader, every day you must recognize and minimize the impact of these two risks. And that's not easy given that every human being, all of us, are hardwired not to take risks. Our brain is pre-programmed to keep us safe. In a study of 10,000 people, less than 28% of people liked taking a risk. And that's the problem when it comes to your organizational change efforts. Often the risks of the change are either too high or they're not acknowledged. So people have been taught to fear change because they associate organizational change with pain, uncertainty, and discomfort. Change-fearful employees are slow to engage with change and work to maintain the current state. Those behaviors are often misinterpreted as resistance to change, when it's really learned survival. And as a result, you create a change-cynical organization. Keep watching to discover why that matters and what you can do to become a change-ready organization. Hello. Welcome back to the channel. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Dr. Dawn Marie Turner, President of Turner Change Management and creator of the Readiness Mindset. Before we jump into today's topic on change-cynical versus change-ready, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to click the bell so that you get notified when the latest video is available. First, I'd like to give a shout out to my friend and colleague, Dr. Gillian Pembroke Gravenhorst of the Netherlands. He, in his research, identified and categorized organizations based on their capacity and capability with change. He found that the most common configuration was the change-cynical organization, and the least common, but the one that has the greatest advantage for an organization, the change-innovative or change-ready organization. Okay, let's explore first the characteristics of a change-cynical organization. And I'll be curious, and you can put it in the comments, if any of these characteristics resonate with you in your organization. Employees in a change-cynical organization struggle with change. Their focus is on maintaining the current state, even when they can see that it's not working. They often don't see the connection between the goals or the outcome of the change, your organization's strategy, and the daily operation. And they focus more on their own interests over the interests of the organization. Another characteristic of a change-cynical organization is that people don't believe that your organization can make the necessary shifts in the environment to achieve and sustain the outcome. Whether this is needed shifts in leadership, beliefs, policy, procedure, attitudes, and even compensation. I've done a previous video on how your history with change impacts your organization, and I'll post it in the show notes below. Leaders in a change-cynical organization experience high levels of negativity and skepticism when a change is announced. They lack the specific knowledge and skills needed to lead and enable change. For example, they may be quick to label people as resistant to change or focus on doing change management for those large initiatives and ignore the practice for smaller changes in their organization, or struggle with ambiguity or the emotional aspects that come with any change in your organization. Research has shown that the skills needed for managing and leading within the daily operation aren't enough for leading and enabling change in your organization. In a change-cynical organization, organizational change capacity is low. Organizational change capacity is your organization's ability to implement a single change initiative while also maintaining your daily operation, keeping your business going, and not compromising future changes and change processes in your organization. And high levels of change capacity are critical for successful and sustainable change. A low level of change capacity creates two significant problems for your organization. First, it's unlikely that the current change will succeed. And second, organizations with low levels of change capacity experience greater disruption to their operation during the change. The result is that their ability to implement future changes successfully is reduced. Okay, let's talk about what are the characteristics of a change-ready organization. And let me know in the comments how many of these characteristics resonate with you and your organization. Employees of a change innovative organization, they don't feel a loss of control, nor are they stressed or overwhelmed by change. They're able to move easily through a change with minimal disruption to their daily operation. It doesn't mean they won't feel any discomfort or it won't be challenging and the change can be difficult. That's all possible, but they move through it with a sense of ease that they are capable of handling it and engaging in the activities that are needed. In a change-ready organization, people feel informed about the outcome of the change. They understand the process because enough time, support, and space is allocated for them to accept and navigate what that change means for them and what it will take to integrate those new activities and behaviors into their daily practice. Technological changes in a change-ready organization are more easily adapted, and they don't tend to create the tensions within and between the departments. In a change-ready organization, there's high levels of change capacity. People feel capable of navigating what's needed to enable the changes in their organization. Leaders and managers in a change-ready organization are actively involved throughout the process. Leaders monitor, support, and actively engage to understand the level of readiness, adjust, and respond to ensure people can adopt those new activities. Line managers, supervisors also feel capable, and they involve people and pay attention to their response. They understand and know the actions to take and the actions not to take. They ask questions. They explore concerns without labeling people as resistant. Because people in a change-ready organization feel a greater sense of control and are actively involved, they experience less stress and begin to actively work with you to enable the changes with less disruption to your daily operation. People can thrive because of change, and you can use it to become a healthier and stronger organization. But it begins with you as the leader. There's no magic bullet when it comes to enabling a high-performance, change-ready workforce. You need to be willing to unlearn current practices and learn new ones, to ask yourself, what do I need to do differently? How do I enable change in my organization based and grounded in readiness? For me and for the clients that we work with, the effort is worth it. Just one small note in closing. If you're thinking that, wow, it feels like a lot of work, it will be different and it does take effort. But it takes as much energy to create and sustain a change-cynical organization as it does a change-ready organization. But the return on your investment is very different. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you'd like to talk more about becoming a change-ready organization, reach out. Let's have a conversation about our transformative process. Bye for now.